Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's RDC meeting. Tonight we will begin, as we always do, with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you very much for that. I would please ask Madam Clerk if you would note that we are all present this evening in person, which is great. And with that, I believe we have some minutes to approve from our last meeting. Anybody have any motions for me to consider on those minutes?
I'll make a motion we approve the minutes of the last meeting.
Got a motion?
Second.
And a second. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you for that one. And on to old business. I see no old business on our agenda this evening. So we'll move on to new business. And we have two items here on the new business. We are going to talk with Mr. Derek Warren about the Montgomery Ward's lot paving approval.
Yes. Good evening, Commission. So the dust has now settled, pun intended, for the demolition of 125 South Meridian Street, when we also closed on the parking lot to the north. So everything is complete as far as ownership goes, and now we're moving on to the paving phase. So I can give you some numbers from the demolition side of 125 South Meridian Street. The base bid was $204,500. We came in at $206,884.80. So for the demo phase, we were over $2,384.80, and we also had some additional compaction tests of $2,633.05. So with those two overages, that put us at $5,017.85 into the 10% contingency that you all gave us for that project of $21,724. So after the overages, there is $16,706.15 left in the contingency line for that project. To pave 125 South Meridian Street, which we did not even talk about originally, and I'm happy to answer questions about that as we get into it here. But to pave 125 South Meridian Street for the paving and the extra stone that we need to bring the site up to grade is $21,800. So that leaves us a shortfall to reach $21,800 in the contingency line for the demolition of $5,093.85. So I'd like to get that done. I'd like to ask for an additional amount of money so that we can pave this. But I'd also like to ask for an extra $1,000 in stone contingency because the estimate was just kind of a eyeball test of how much stone we needed, and the stone was a 100-ton of 53-foot stone. But I think if we can add $1,000 to our shortfall here, that will just ensure that I'm not coming back asking for extra money for the stone to bring the site up to grade. So in order to get the parking lot paved, with the leftover contingency, again, of $16,706.15, we need an extra $6,093.85 to get the lot paved, striped, the whole shebang. So we've already got the money set aside for the resurfacing of 115 South Meridian Street, our newly purchased property, and we've already got the money set aside for the resurface of the site we sold as well. So the $6,093.85 gets us 3 brand new paved parking surfaces, striped, everything. So Kevin Kruluk, our city engineer, is working on a striping plan for the 115 South Meridian Street and 125 South Meridian Street, which now will become one parking lot. And we're going to be somewhere likely in the mid-40s as far as parking spots go. I think, it's a good idea to go ahead and pave it now. It is going to give us kind of a test to see what parking surfaces look like downtown, to see the comments that we get, to see how that opens things up. And I really don't think that the climate is right necessarily to offer it up for redevelopment at this point. I think some of the other projects that are just about shovel-ready are going to take off. And I think we'll be in a better position to maybe put it out as an RFP once we get down the road with some of these other developments, once things start to pop up and some of the magic starts to happen with reuses of downtown. So I think it makes sense to go ahead and pave it now, and that way it's got a clean surface. We've got 40 some odd parking spots downtown, and we kind of see how that goes and take it from there.
Awesome. Thank you, Derek. Questions from the commission?
Eric, could you remind me, did we take bids on that paving?
This is a quote from our contractor who has the Uniprice bid for the year.
So we didn't have competitive bidding?
No, it was bid out for that price to get the contract for the year. And with it being the amount that it is.
Well, it was competitively bid to the city, but
Yeah.
we didn't competitively, correct. So the city bid the,
Was it bid like as a material bid? Is that what it was per ton of
yeah.
each different type?
Yes,
They got the city's price, right?
yes, correct.
Still a good price.
Perfect. Any other questions?
The only question I have, Derek, is what happens when they finally start the construction around there with the new pavement? Whose responsibility will be to fix it? Us or the new developer?
Well, what construction?
Unless that lot's going to stay empty and become a bigger paved lot.
So the 115 and 125 South Marine Street all become one parking lot. We will be responsible for the paving of that, and we will be responsible for the maintenance of that, as long as it remains a parking lot until it changes hands. The 113 East Main Street, once it's repaved, resurfaced, the responsibility falls on the new property owner for the maintenance of that from here on out. So there shouldn't be any other construction projects that affect the surface in any way after it's paved.
Until it were to
Yeah,
develop.
unless somebody comes in and wants to develop that site
Yep.
for some odd reason,
Right.
for something, it's going to be a parking lot from time to
Correct.
time.
And at that time, maybe it would make some sense for the person, whoever it is that's going to redevelop that to cut a line, save the new paving for their project.
No, they'll probably
But that'll be their responsibility. It won't be our responsibility.
Exactly, it won't
Correct,
be ours,
right.
that'll deal with it.
Yeah, once that starts to get redeveloped, the deal will already be put in place to put that
Correct.
lot into whoever it is that's going to develop it into their ownership.
Right.
Say we took core samples? Core samples, did we take core samples
Yep.
for stability? Maybe that's a
Compaction.
We did,
Kevin question.
we did compaction testing as we backfilled the Montgomery Ward site.
So we're comfortable with the additional stone and
Oh.
adding stability?
You could land a 747 on this thing, you wouldn't even know it. It was,
Do that, I don't want to be on.
yeah,
Go ahead and let us know how to do this.
it's.
Only emergency.
We had all sorts of eyes on that, and it was at a pretty unbelievable compaction test. It was, if I remember right, it was over 98% every time we test.
Hey, that's pretty good. Good deal. Commission, any other questions? All right, so with that, I enjoy nice round numbers, but I would entertain a motion on the additional funding request not to exceed 6,100, just to use a round number. That included the additional $1,000 for the stone contingency, as well as the 5,100 in construction or paving.
I'll make a motion, we approve an additional $6,100 for the paving of the old Montgomery Ward lot.
All right, so we have a motion on the table
Second.
and a second.
That's not to exceed.
That is, just to confirm, that is a not to exceed amount, correct?
Not to exceed?
Perfect. All right, so we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much, Derek.
One more little bit of clarification. I just want to make sure that we're crossing all the Ts and dotting the Is. So you're also allowing me to use the contingency money that we had set aside for the
Yeah.
demolition. I just want to make sure of that, that we add the 6,100 to the 16,706 that's left over.
Correct. You want to put that in? Yeah, I'll amend the motion to include the contingency funding that is
That's how I
left.
voted, so I don't even know.
Right.
Yeah,
So
to
just to confirm, we're going to amend that motion to add that 6,100 to the contingency
Correct.
for the parking lot paving.
Okay.
Okay.
Correct.
How are
Do
we
you
wording that? Sorry. I'm
So
not
it'll
sure
be-
Where we are.
We're going to amend it to say that we're going to add not to exceed another $6,100 to the
Another?
No,
No, no.
just the
Oh, I
first
thought you said
6,100 that we
another.
talked about.
No, 6,100,
I got that.
not to exceed $6,100 to the remaining contingency funds that are available for this project, for the
Nice.
paving of the Montgomery Ward line.
So with that amendment, do we still have a second? We still have a second. Should we re-vote just to make it formal?
Sure.
Let's go ahead and do that. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it, Derek. Thank you. Next up on the agenda, we have our friends from Heart of Lebanon. They are here to give us a Q1 update. So this commission has requested some updates from our friends at Heart of Lebanon, and Miss Missy Krulik is here to do so.
Good evening, Commission. Missy Krulik with the Heart of Lebanon, here to give you your quarterly update, as promised when you gave us funding last year. So the Heart of Lebanon's mission is to enhance the heart of our community, and I think we did a pretty good job in 2020 with facing COVID. So in 2020, we were able to help 6 small businesses with $1,000 grants each. It was called our Helping Small Businesses in the Heart Emergency Health Crisis Grant. We were able to provide resources to those small businesses available at the local, state, and national level. Helped a few of them with letters for their grants that they applied for. So we were excited to be able to help these small businesses in their time of need. We were able to have 16 summer nights events, which included music on the plaza, Escape the Alley, painting with Bob Ross. We had 16 Lebanon city markets, 4 business promotional events, 1 historic preservation event, and 3 of our signature events, which is Oktoberfest, Mischief on Meridian, and Christmas on the Square. We were able to retain our designation of an accredited Indiana Main Street. Under Okra's new criteria, they went through a restructuring of their main streets and assigned different levels. So now you're just not an accredited Main Street, you can be an affiliated Main Street if you don't rise to the level of accreditation. And they every calendar year, they reevaluate your Main Street. We welcomed 6 new businesses in the Heart in 2020, so that was really exciting. Our downtown is growing and businesses are wanting to be there, and they're excited to be there. So we also reached 101,000 people through our event promotions on Facebook. And we finalized our alley activation design of Alley Oop, which if you were at the Board of Works meeting, you might have heard about. It's a walkthrough of history of basketball in our community. So looking ahead to 2021, our upcoming events that start rolling the 1st of June is our Lebanon City Market. That will happen every Tuesday, June to August from 4 to 7 p.m. We're really working with programming this year, really trying to get families downtown. We're creating a farmer's market mascot for those children, and talking a lot about fun and fitness. They can come downtown, and also some art in August. So a lot of exciting things that are happening there with the Lebanon City Market. Also summer nights every Friday this year. If you'll remember last year, we kind of alternated them between Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday to kind of see what our response was. Friday was generally our best night. So we picked Friday night from June to August, every Friday night, 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. There'll be music or some type of event downtown. Oktoberfest, of course, is October 21st. We're looking forward to that and thankful that State Bank came on board with us this year to have that event, and also the Boone County Convention and Visitors Bureau is providing the music for that. So we're excited about that. History in the Heart and the Lebanon Courthouse Square Historic Walking Tour. We're excited to announce that we received an Indiana Humanities Grant to do a Lebanon Courthouse Square Historic Walking Tour. So we're in the thick of that, and it'll be something that teachers can bring their students down, grandparents can take their grandchildren, they can pull it up on their smartphone, and they can walk around the square and do a historical tour that's multimedia, videos, narrated stories. It'll be a great thing for our communities, something they can do 365 days a year if they choose. That event will be, that historic walking tour will kick off on September 4th. So Mischief on Meridian, a community's favorite, will be October 30th. Small Business Saturday, November 27th, which is an important one for our downtown businesses and retailers. And then, of course, our Hallmark event, Christmas on the Square, December 4th. So we're excited about those events this year. So also in 2021, one thing with our restructuring of Indiana Main Streets is Indiana Main Streets and Main Streets in general don't want to be known as event planners. So they want to make sure that we're reaching out and we're having economic development projects with our small businesses, that we're attracting businesses, that we're taking an initiative in our downtowns to look at design, what can bring families and the community downtown, what can unite the community in our downtown. Hence, Alley Oop is one of those projects. And then promotion, and then organization. Those are all our 4 pillars of our organization that we have to commit to doing these things to keep our accreditation. So it's important. We have to do an annual report to Indiana Main Streets and the National Main Street Association, and make sure that we're following through to keep our accreditation. So one thing that we did this past couple months is we celebrated Black History Month and Women's History Month, which is an initiative of the National Main Streets. They wanted us to highlight these areas in our downtown, and we chose to do Ella Valentine. I hope you all got to see that video of Ella Valentine, our first Black graduate of Lebanon High School. So an amazing woman, an amazing story. So, and then also we featured our women business owners in the heart. Got to hear a little bit about what makes their business unique, and a little bit of personal information, like what they like to do when they're not working their business. So it was nice to get to know those women and really appreciate how hard they work. We are getting ready to kick off our promotion downtown called Take a Whirl Downtown. It'll happen from mid-April to mid-June. We have 500 pinwheels that will be suspended in the air above the Presbyterian Pocket Park. So we're excited about that. It'll be connected from light pole to light poles, and we'll be utilizing the tree, and we've got all the necessary approvals to be able to do that. So we're excited about that. Families, people can come downtown, and it's a great photo op, and it's just a great thing for the kids. And then also, if you walk around to the businesses, we'll be giving them pinwheels to give out to their littlest patrons, so they can come in and get a pinwheel. And so that's just a promotion that we're doing downtown. We're currently working on an outdoor fixture grant. This will allow the businesses to apply for a grant to be able to put tables, chairs, benches, and like an A-frame sign or planters in front of their business. So that's something currently that we're working on to attract visitors to those storefronts using those elements. So just a way to help those businesses out and be able to put those things downtown. We will be fundraising for Alley-Oop. It's a big project, so we're excited about that, in the process of writing grants now. So, and then creating business and retention and attraction programs. Our Economic Vitality Committee has been working on this. They've come up with a voluntary business audit program where the businesses can voluntarily do this program. That it's kind of like a secret shopper, where they will go into their physical location and evaluate that. Also, if they don't want that and they want their website or their social media evaluated, like a secret shopper, they can have that done as well. And then the Heart of Lebanon will provide a grant towards addressing one of those issues that was identified in that audit. So we can just make our businesses better downtown. And then along with that is setting up a mentor program with other Main Streets, businesses in Main Streets, if they need a little bit more feedback, and kind of helps those two businesses create a partnership. And then also windows of opportunities. We don't have a lot of empty storefronts, I'm happy to say, in our downtown, but we do have some. So we are identifying those. We've identified through surveys in the community what people want to see downtown. And so we're calling those windows of opportunity. So this could be a future coffee shop. This could be, whatever the community identified they'd like, some type of antique store downtown. These are just ways to, maybe someone is traveling through our downtown, they see a window of opportunity, and they think, would like to move my business here, kind of like we had with Paradise Shaved Ice recently that has announced that it's coming downtown. So, you guys did a beautiful job with our downtown, and it's working. It really is working. And then our goal in 2021 is to become an accredited National Main Street organization. We are not a National Main Street accredited organization, only because we do not have a full-time executive director. So that's one of our goals this year, is to, as our board, to get me to a place that they can have me as a full-time executive director, or compensate me as being a full-time executive director. So that's one thing that the board has been talking about a lot lately. How can we do this? And then also, of course, retaining our Indiana Main Street accreditation. Indiana Main Streets, they've really stepped up the game, which is good. It keeps us on our toes. We have to do so many things in order to keep our accreditation. Like I said, we have to complete the 4 pillars, but I have to attend every West Central Indiana Main Street call. I have to attend the Great Lakes Main Street Conference, and I have to show that the Heart of Lebanon is taking steps forward all the time. And they've identified things that we have to do this year in order to keep our accreditation. So we're excited. We've got some great board members. We've developed committee members. We've really got that momentum forward. And I would like to thank our 2021 sponsors that have stepped up and created a partnership with us that has allowed us to do some of the work that we're doing. And then also I'd like to take a moment to thank our board members and just introduce who those are if you don't know. Patrick Clues with Clues Brews that's opening downtown. Joe LePage. It's a great liaison between the city and the Heart of Lebanon. Chris Jovanovich, you'll remember she had the Indiana Yoga Studio downtown. So she is a Lebanon resident and still very passionate about the downtown, even though her business is not located there. Kelly Jackson, Jackson Investment Group. So she's been a wonderful board member. Lexi Britt, you remember she was with the Chamber of Commerce, but recently moved to a new position, but wanted to stay a part of the Heart of Lebanon because she feels that it's important, it's in her community. And then Heather Schaller recently joined the board, so we're excited to have her a part of the group. So that is my update. If you have any questions, I'd love to answer them.
Any questions from the commission? Comments? Well, I will tell you, just as a former board member and very involved with the Heart of Lebanon, it's great to see our growth from the Heart of Lebanon organization and that support of those small businesses. So kudos to you, kudos to the board and the small businesses in town that continue to work hard and pour some pretty good money into living out their dream down there. So very exciting. Thank you very much, Missy.
Missy, can I get a copy of what you just presented?
Yes.
You can just email it to me.
Absolutely.
And also during the Board of Works meeting, if I can get the alley-oop presentation.
Yes.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That'll make documentation much easier.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
We have pending construction downtown next summer, several months coming up, right?
In terms of,
Do we have, I just want to make sure there wasn't any conflicts with all the activities that are planned. Do we have any pending construction that would be conflicting or present a challenge for the activities that were presented this evening up in the next 6 months?
Well, there's no municipal construction project with the exception of some resurfacing of the sidewalk in front of Lacey Boggs and St. Adrian's. There's some complaints about that with being slick in the wintertime. We're going to fix that. So there's not really any municipal construction. In terms of HPC grants that I know are pending, there's a facade grant pending on the Chop House where they're really going to replace a lot of the woodwork on the front of that building. And then they're also going to create some outdoor dining spaces. Again, I think those are relatively small impact construction projects. And then I believe there are Mr. Katona's buildings. He's re-roofing 5 of his buildings. And I believe that is, and then with the Clues Brews business as putting in the outdoor seating dining area on Washington Street. So there's going to be a lot, but I don't think there's anything that would necessarily impact any of the Heart of Lebanon activities. Although I will say the Chop House renovations, although they're already starting, they will probably be wrapping up about the time that Farmers Market starts. But if there is any potential conflict, that's probably the event that would be up against some of the Heart of Lebanon projects.
we heard from the library this evening, correct? They're doing some renovations that affect some of the streets downtown.
Yeah, and if I heard them right, they're planning to, basically they're planning to close the alley on the north side of the library. Sometime in the month of June, they will need to close Washington Street for 3 or 4 days for painting of the library. But again, that work is all supposed to be wrapped up by July 1st, and that's at the latest. So again, I think the impact would be minimal to any of the events happening.
Purpose of my question is, after a year with COVID and all they've dealt with, I would hate for them to have to deal with interruptions to their programming, the farmers market, everything else. I mean, it's moving forward. It's done an excellent job. I just would hate to see, I hope the city does everything they can to ensure those conflicts are held to a minimum or to prioritize the activities that the Heart of Lebanon has planned.
Yep.
Thank you, Corey.
Very cool, absolutely. All righty. Any other questions for Missy? Awesome. Thank you so much for the update. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we do have one more agenda item just to acknowledge on public record. And Tanya, you want to speak to that a little bit?
Sure, I sent the RDC members, and I'll talk to the council when we meet with them next, but we do the annual TIF management report. Baker Tilly helps us complete that, and all we really need to know is for you, or all you need,
Yep, that thing.
that? All you really need to do is acknowledge that you received the information. All right, so I don't even, I really just need a.
Got mine.
Yes, I got it.
Got mine?
Got it.
Yes.
That's all I need.
We appear to
Thank
all
you.
have received it.
Thank you.
Perfect. So that was the last item I had under new business. Any other items to come before the commission? Hearing that, we have one more thing, and that is to pay our bills. I would entertain a motion on the claims this evening.
Make a motion, we approve the claims, pay the claims.
Got a motion? And a second. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Thank you very much. And last one, and Mr. Robertson's favorite.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
We've got a motion, and I will second that. All those in favor? Aye. We are adjourned. See you all at next month's RDC meeting.
By the way.
Thank you.
Pass those down.